remember being a kid and leaving your PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 on overnight and waking up in a fever dream to the sound of a game menu idling, kind of dozing in and out of consciousness each time your ears catch a few bars from that silky, smooth menu music. This style of music varied so much in that PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era, but oftentimes this music could be called very simply downtempo, with various flavors of lounge, jazz, hip-hop, and even things like deep house and drum and bass. It needed to be silky, smooth, and light. Now you may hear this music on a loading screen, the main menu, or even in-game. Or if you search the depths of YouTube's, you can find channels dedicated to video game background music. Let's go ahead and jump into this and start with the drums here. And to be period relevant, I'm using the Roland XV5080, which is a rompler similar to the Korg Triton, just Roland's flavor of it. Now, this rompler has a lot of great drum kits in it, and I'm using this house drum set. And we have a couple chord patterns here going on in the song, and this first one here just sounds like this. Very basic beat there. Only thing that I would call out is we have this little ghost kick here with the velocity drop down a bit. Outside of that, very simple beat. Just kick and a snare. Then I have another variation of that beat here. Sounds like this. And so together we get this. And then we have this turnaround variant here. And that's a very, very simple beat. It's light, it's airy, there's not a lot going on in it, and that's the vibe that I want for this. Now, the other thing I did here in this breakdown is I brought in this little ride cymbal, also from the Roland XV5080. This is the power drum set, and we have this just playing a nice steady pattern here in the breakdown, alternating the velocities on each note within here, and it sounds like this. And then later on, we stack that up with the beat. Now, one thing you'll notice here too is this percussion sound here. I'm sending to this delay over here. So if I go to the delay, which is an FX send, we have a stock Bitwig delay, EQ'd out some of the bottom in there, and we're just using that delay for reasons I'll talk about a little bit later. But most importantly, it creates a shared space for all of our different sounds instead of just having a different delay on every single track, which isn't very period relevant for the time, right? That wouldn't have been easily accessible or easy to do. So now let's move on to the bass here. And I'm also using the Roland XV5080. This is the sinusoid rave sound. It's in the synth bass category. In the lower we play. Just a nice sine wave bass sound. Now for this, we have this pattern going on right here, and I'll just play it out. And so a very subby, boomy type sound. I think for these chill out type songs, just going the route of the sine wave, or like an 808 as your bass, that subby, just silky smooth sound, kind of very short staccato-y notes within there, just creates this like gooey composition when mixed up with the drums there. And so that's what we have for the bass, very simple. So then we get into the electric piano sound here. This is the electric piano trim from the Roland XV5080. We're playing a minor 7 with this, little bit of EQ on here, but then I kind of lied and ended up using a delay on the individual track here. Not really sure why I did that. Kind of counteracts my whole conversation about the delay send. Nonetheless, sometimes in the heat of the moment, you make some mistakes. But anyway, so we have this minor 7 chord playing here. We're using this chord device in Bitwig that will trigger a full chord when you play one note. And so this is the pattern we have for the keys. And that's what we have. Very simple, mixed pretty low within the song. And so I just wanted to retain that feel. I just thought it was nice. So now we get into various effects. And so I am using the XV5080 again here, the rave drum set. And there are actually some kooky and wacky effects on some of these drum kits within here. And so this effect here. And then we have this other sound. Kind of a nice industrial breathy sound. And so we just alternate these throughout the arrangement to sprinkle in some ear candy. And that these types of breathy industrial sounds are just so 90s in my opinion. And so just sprinkling those throughout the song is a great way to do things. And then we're sending that to the delay over the on the effects end there. Now we have another track here with the power drum set, and same thing, we're using some kooky and wacky effects on here. Yes, brother. So a little whistle sound there. And that's what we have for effects, also sent to the delay. And we have this final effect down here coming out of the XV5080 under the synth effects category. This is Cosmic Rain. Just a nice smattering of additional effects there. Going through a nice delay. Looks like there's a phaser on there as well. And so we're playing this little note line here with this sound. And that's it. And so what you can see here is so much of a lot of these tunes is you kind of have the core elements. So that would be, you know, your drums, your bass, and then maybe something like an electric piano, a high string, a couple other items. But these little incidentals, these little effects that you can sprinkle throughout the song is a great way to level up, add some more interest to things and kind of get that throwback sound. So pro tip here is pull up one of these Ramplers, pull up some sounds from these synth effects categories. So if I go into category, you'll see the synth effects category, a lot of great sounds in there. Or if you go to some of these drum kits, a lot of these drum kits, the higher you play up on the keyboard, you'll start getting some weird kooky effects within there. And that's the gist of how we constructed this one. Very simple song, right? We're not doing anything complex here. Again, thinking back to the goal of this song is to create some just subtle background music that can sit in that game while you're specking out your sick Ferrari Testarossa. Anybody remember those when people like those? Fantastic. Final thing I want to call out here, Roland, what is up with these DSP spikes in your XV5080 VST? Kind of ridiculous. It's so frustrating that I actually went out and bought a physical XV5080. Please fix your stuff. Look at this. I mean, this is insane. This is bananas. Makes me not want to use this thing. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Really appreciate the support. If you want the project file for this song, as well as other songs I've done in the past and many songs going forward, go check me out on Patreon, where you can sign up, get access to those project files, exclusive sample packs, exclusive videos, all sorts of great things to help you in your music production journey. Have a good one.